Nico, I can play it harder than that for you. I can play it harder than that.
We should have everything now. 0.
It's hot. Tune in.
Yeah, not tuning.
All good, is it?
Yeah. Stayed in tune pretty well actually. Also using lag logs. Tuning fish lag logs. It was pretty good. Yeah, this is the TuneBot gig. And then there is like a TuneBot studio where there are more functions in it, like filters. Oh yeah?
Changing the head from that
Yeah.
to this. Because we're not totally satisfied.
So we already mic'd up all the kit. We're using a bunch of microphones, don't be afraid, super easy. We're starting with room mics. We have a pair of AEA and 22 as closed room mics. They are like a figure-8 polar pattern. So basically we're taking the left side of the room and the right side of the room. In this case we're using drummer perspective, so it will be left side and right side. Then we have a mono room mic. We need a closer one. It is a Bayer Dynamic M130, I believe. And then we have another microphone in the bathroom actually. That we're using like a kind of always sound just to record an extension of the kit. Obviously in the mix this microphone will be automated depending if it is a blast beat or like a slower, bigger part. For the kit, we have a pair of Slate Digital VMS. They're basically like the camper of microphones. What these microphones are doing is catching the flattest sound as possible, and then we can use a plugin to emulate another microphone. So basically it's like having 20 grams of microphone in just one plugin. Then we basically spot mics all the symbols. On the crashes we have a pair of SE Electronics SE7. For the Chinas, and we use a pair of Octava MO13. For splashes, we're just using a single mic because they position in the center of the kit. We're using a Loading Audio LA 120. And we're using the same microphone also for the ride. Then on toms, I go behind the kit. I pick up different microphone for each tom. I pick up basically the microphone that was going best. I use an Audix D2 on the 10 inches tom. On the 12 inches, we're using Audio Technica ATM 230. And then on a 16 inches, we're using an Nordics D12, the new version. And we're using also the equalizer activating the Phantom. It is already scooping a little bit the mids and is boosting the highs and the lows. For snare, we're using 4 microphone actually, a 57 and a Shure PGA. One is a dynamic microphone, the other one is a condenser microphone. So we're having completely different character for both microphone. We have a snare side just to catch a little bit the body of the snare and the ring of the snare and the real tone of the snare at the end from the metal. We have a Sennheiser 421, and on the bottom snare we're using a Sennheiser. It's basically a Sennheiser that is used the most on guitar cabs, but I don't know for which reason I love it on the snare bottom. On the AC we're using the SM7B, and it works really good because it has like a little bit of that dark character that we're searching for. We don't want harsh hats, so it's really great for that reason. All these microphones go to preamps. We're using like Nave style preamps, API style preamps. We have an audience for cleaner sounds. We have Focusrite. Focusrite is ISA2. We're using a bunch of things just to give character to the drums. Even if these drums for me personally has a really good tone, really good character. You don't need to really add a lot because it sings just by itself really. I mean, shout out to British Drum Company. You can see that they build the instrument with so much love. So for drums, we're done. Now we will start tracking.
Ah! Fucking hell! Oh my fucking god. Try again. Fucking hell. Do it again. I can do it better now. Sorry. Yeah, set from the start. I don't know what to play there. I don't know whether to play. Yeah. I'm gonna try the other China. What do you reckon? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Welcome. It's that time again. It's album 6. We're with Nico Benenato at Camera Recordings in Palma de Mallorca, Spain. And it's fucking hot. It's August and it's fucking hot. But anyway, I'm going to talk you through the kit that I've been using. For anyone that's seen the last album documentary, it's an identical setup to mine. That was my touring kit that I used on the last album. This is Nico's kit, but it's absolutely exactly the same. Starting with the drums, we've got a British Drum Company Legend Series. all birch on the tom and kick drum shells. So we've got a 10x7, we've got a 12x8, and a 16x16 inch floor tom. And the bass drum is a 20x16 inch. The snare drum is a British drum company Bluebird, which is a chrome over brass shell. It's a 14x6. Super snappy, super harmonic, which is kind of what we want. All the drums sing really well. I feel like birch has that kind of projection that I like. So the drums are always really punchy, have a lot of attack, but they resonate super well. Because they resonate super well, we've actually changed the head since last time. We used to use Emperors, remote Emperors, but this time we're using Powerstroke 4s and Ambassadors on the bottom. And even then, we're still using a tiny little bit of dampening gel underneath because they still resonate so much, even with Powerstroke 4s. That's just a testament to the build quality of the drums, to be quite honest. Same with the snare. Like I said, we've got an Ambassador on the bottom, and we've got a Control Sound X on top, just to control some of those little overtones. Cymbals, I've been using Pisces cymbals for, well, since 2008. I've evolved my setup slightly over the years. I started off with Rudes in the Annotations days and the early Ingested days. Kind of played a lot of different types of cymbals from different series over the years, and this is kind of what I'm happy with at the moment. So from the left, we'll start. We've got a Rude Wild China, 16 inch. And on the right, we've got a Wild China, 18 inch. Super loud Chinas, lots of attack, cut through everything. But what I like about these Chinas is that they got a short sustain. I'm not a massive fan of Chinas that are too washy. I feel like when we do lots of like kind of fast-paced kind of blast beat work, where there's like, you know, lots of choppy kind of China work, I like to have something with a short sustain so it just cuts through everything. You can really hear it. On the crashes, we're using 2002 16 inch and then a 2002 18 inch. Lovely cymbals, one of the most recorded cymbals of all time, so not really much to argue with in terms of their quality. What I like about the 2002s is they have a dark tone to them, but they still have that shimmer that cuts through the mix, which is important with death metal. So that balance, I feel, is just perfect for what I'm into. Splashes, you'll notice that everything is in the same families. So we've got 2002s, Rudes, splashes are the same. We've got a Signature Series Dark Energy splash, 8 inch, and then a 10 inch as well. So I like to keep everything within the same family of cymbals. These splashes are probably more for jazz than death metal, but I love the musicality of them. The tone separation is just perfect, and yeah, they're splashes that really kind of spit at you in the mix. The only other thing we've got from the Signature Series is 13 inch Dark Crisp hats. I actually got a rental pair of these on the last album when we got to make Tread. I had a 2 hi-hat setup on the last album, and I love them so much that I bought my own. So they are now in the Ingested archives. One more cymbal from the 2002 line. We've got a Psycho Octopus Gigabell Ride 18 inch. Really, really glassy, which I like. It has that ping to it. The bell cuts through everything. What I have been using in the past was this beast. As you can see, it's pretty old. I've tried to clean it over the years, but not with much luck because it's been on the road forever. It's probably going to go into retirement, and I'm probably going to be using this from now on because I actually think I prefer the tone, to be honest, and it's a lot more manageable to take on tour and in the studio. It's only 18 inches, so it's nice and easy. In terms of pedals, I'm using Trick Pro 1V, low mass. We've got the double pedal setup here because Nico only has one bass drum. I use 2 bass drums on tour normally. On the head, on the bass drum though, we're using the same as last time. We're using a mesh head, which just stops things like bleed, in the other microphones. I don't have the head super tight. I try and replicate that kind of feel of a normal bass drum as much as I can, so it's not too bouncy. In terms of sticks, using London Drumstick Company. These ones are a little bit battered because I've been using the same sticks on the entire recording, but I'll show you one that's a little bit newer. You can see these are all specifically made to my dimensions that I like. It's just 17 inches long, so a pretty long stick. Got the rubber grip on the bottom. But what I asked them to design for me, because I noticed from my playing over the years that the shoulder of the stick was the part that was always given away. So I've designed a little step in the stick, kind of similar to Charlie Benante. He's got a similar design, and it basically means that when I'm crashing, it's super clean every single time, and it's really good for bell work on the ride. So I like it for those reasons. Triggers. On this recording we're using a Roland RT30K on the kick. And then we've got TM2, which is the same one I use on tour. Industry standard. And that's pretty much it. Drums are sounding great. Super punchy, lots of attack. Cymbals are really musical. Really happy. So yeah. Oh my god, it's hot as fuck. Tracking drums in Mallorca in fucking August. No thanks. Tracking done.
Let's go!
Well, drums at least. Now we've got the actual music and not just me hitting shit all week.